Hey, it's Mr. Wilson. Today I'm going to talk about tightening up our edits and also changing our green screen backgrounds. The following clip is from a production I made this summer with some students, and it is called The Big Good Wolf. This is the Big Good Wolf here. He's a policeman, and I am the boss, and we're here in the police station. We're obviously shooting in front of green screens. I was shooting separately from this student. We shot separately, but we put ourselves in the scene together through the magic of green screening. So this is the clip, and that's why I'm talking about him, and his name is the Big Good Wolf, and he says, no, my name is not. So this is just a clip from that production. We'll play it real quick, and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
Hey, BG Dubs, how's it going?
BG Dubs? Boss, you know my name's Wolf, right? BB Wolf.
Yeah, but that's what they're calling you around here. Ever since you solved that big kitten caper. All those helpless kittens saved by you. The BG Dubs!
But what does BG Dubs even mean?
The Big Good Wolf. You're a real hero around these parts. Which brings me to what I need to talk to you about.
Okay, so that's just the scene that we're going to talk about. And this is more or less the edited version. Of course, I added some sound and some music to the background. I'm also doing this in WeVideo. I actually edited it in Final Cut. I'm going to be showing you how to do this in WeVideo, but the same thing can be applied to anything like Final Cut, which we use at school, or DaVinci Resolve, or Premiere Pro. So I'm going to show you this scene with some problems, and then we're going to talk about how we can fix these problems. I'm going to play it again with the problems, and I'm going to see if you can figure out what those problems are, and then we're going to talk about how to fix them.
BG Dubs, how's it going?
BG Dubs? Boss, you know my name's Wolf, right? BB Wolf.
Yeah, but that's what they're calling you around here. Ever since you solved that big kitten caper. All those helpless kittens saved by you. The BG Dubs!
But what does BG Dubs even mean?
The Big Good Wolf. You're a real hero around these parts.
Okay, so what's the problem? Hopefully you've noticed two problems, and the two problems are what we're going to talk about. One is that there are all these big long pauses like this.
The Big Good Wolf.
We don't want those pauses. And the other is the background. If we look at the background, when we change the shot from one person to the next, from each of the shots, it is the same picture, and that obviously doesn't make any sort of sense. If we look at the version that is over here, the background changes. So we have the establishing shot here, and then when we go to the close-ups, the background changes a little bit to make a little bit more sense. So if we just keep the background the same here, it makes no sense. So those are two things we need to change. We need to tighten up our edits, and that means we need to get rid of any pauses that we don't want. Now, occasionally there will be a pause that you want in there, an awkward pause or as someone's thinking, but usually we don't want these pauses like this.
BB Wolf.
Yeah, but that's what they're calling you around here.
We don't want those pauses, so we're going to take them out. But another thing we don't want to do is cut things off too much, like this. So now I got rid of that pause, but I think I took too much off. Let's look.
BB Wolf.
But that's what they're calling you around.
Yeah, I took too much off. So you need to make sure that when you're editing, you really want to make sure you're including what you want, but not including what you don't want. So take out all the awkward pauses, and then also make sure that nothing is cut off. We want to get our edits precise, and one of the ways we can do it in whatever editing we're in is zoom in on the timeline. So if we're zoomed out all the way, and these things are very small, it's hard to get really fine-tuned editing. So if we zoom way in, we can really have a better handle on exactly how much we're editing off or editing back on. So let's see this.
But that's what they're calling.
Nope, that doesn't look or sound good.
But that's what they're calling you.
Nope. I'm going to need to move this over, add a little bit more. And again, we can use these that are called sound waves. That's me talking there. So
Yeah, but that's what they're.
yeah, but that's what we're talking. But if I play it from here, look.
Yeah, but that's what.
There's this little teeny gap there, and if I go over it frame by frame, and I can do that with my arrow keys, there's just a few frames of nothing there, and then I appear. We don't want that. And again, if we're not sure, we can zoom in. So if we're zoomed all the way out and we look at this, that looks, this on the timeline doesn't look that bad.
BB Wolf.
Yeah, but that's what.
But did we see that flash?
BB Wolf.
Yeah, but that's what.
Sometimes it's so quick that people don't notice, but you really need to look carefully. And if we zoom in on our timeline, again, zoom in, we'll see that there's this little teeny thing we need to close. So there, I've closed it, and that should be good.
BB Wolf.
Yeah, but that's what they're calling you.
So that's
BB Wolf.
Yeah, but that's
better, but still this background doesn't look good at all. So what I'm going to need to do, zoom in on it. I need it to look like actually it is this person, a medium close-up of this person. What would that background look like? I'm going to need to get the background up here. So I'm going to go to edit. I'm going to scale this up, and I'm going to go in here and I'm going to drag it over. So if I change the camera angle to get a medium close-up of this person, what would it look like? Now, it wouldn't look exactly like this, but it's much closer, right? I can't really move it in 3 dimensions, but I can move it in 2 dimensions, and this is better. So from here to here looks a lot better, right? So if you're using a green screen background and you're going from an establishing shot to a medium close-up of someone, you need to change the background.
Yeah, but that's what
that looks a lot better than if it were just that same picture. Same thing with the other person. Again, we want to get rid of those big long pauses. So, okay, right there, I'll trim that. I'll move this over, but I'm going to edit off a lot of this stuff because I don't want it. Now I can see where he starts to talk by the waveform. I'm going to edit it all the way down, and I'm going to see right around here.
But what does BG Dubs?
Okay, that sounds good. So let's see if I put them together here.
BG Dubs.
But what does BG?
Now that looks good, except the background's messed up. Right there is where I'm going to want to split this. Go here, and I'm going to edit. And I'm going to take this background and I'm going to move it over here because it's upper here for the person who's standing up to the left, and it's down and to the right for the person who is down and to the right, obviously, right?
The BG Dubs.
But what does BG Dubs even mean?
Okay, that's good. And again, and he's getting cut off here. So what I'm going to do is, okay, so this is how we can overlap audio. So we're going to hear me before we see me, and for students who know what L cuts and J cuts are, that's what this is. It doesn't matter whether it's an L or a J cut, but it's good to overlap audio. We're going to hear me before we see me, and he gets a little bit cut off. He says, what does even a me? And he gets cut off. So I can see that these waveforms are overlapping. So now we're going to have that really cut off interruption. It's going to look a lot better.
BG Dubs even mean?
The Big Good Wolf.
So this is the background for the establishing shot. This entire picture, this is zoomed in into the upper left of the picture, and then this is zoomed in into the bottom right of the picture because that's where those 2 people would be according to the establishing shot, right? One other thing is if you're doing it yourself, like the example of this establishing shot where I am standing in my home and I've green screened myself to have a scene with me, I don't need to shoot my medium close-ups on the green screen, just my establishing shot. So when I go to my medium close-ups, I can get both of my medium close-ups actually in the right position.
Those Twix. Yep. Twix.
So the me on the right was in front of a green screen, but the me on the right here is not in front of a green screen because I was able to shoot the medium close-up in my home with that background. And so this is not the green screen background. Same with the other medium close-up.
I have one.
So I'm not in front of a green screen there. I only need to be in front of a green screen for the establishing shot. If this person on the left is the one that I'm green screening in, I'm going to shoot this background but with no one there. And then this person would be green screened in. So this background right here, this background would be just either it could be a still clip, it could be a still picture. It doesn't have to be video, but you want to get that background for the medium close-ups of the other person you're going to green screen in there. Hopefully that makes sense, and if it doesn't, you need to make sure you ask because this is really important. So that's how you tighten up your edits and also make sure you get good backgrounds for your green screening, whether you're green screening on your own and you have an actual background where you can shoot your own medium close-ups without the green screen, which is how you should do it, or if you have a green screen background that you're using with both people, you need to change the background for both of those people, as we did in the police station scene. Thanks and good luck.